Hey guys, this is Jess from Goodwin's Farm 207, and today I am standing in some sumac trees. We're going to be harvesting some of our staghorn sumac and making what they call sumac aid, which is kind of like a lemonade drink but with sumac, and it has a bunch of healthy properties to it. So stick around and find out how we do this. So we have a just plethora of the staghorn sumac on our property, and last year I started doing some research on, are these things good for anything other than fast reproducing and attracting deer? And I was told that you can actually make a lemonade, and there's some different tinctures and stuff you can make with these, and you make those out of these berries here. So today we're going to be harvesting some of these, and then I'm going to show you how to make that sumac aid. So first thing you're going to want to do is you want to look for like the larger berries. They kind of have like this darker color to them. You don't want them to be too brittle or anything, but you definitely want them to, be mature. So that one's a little old, so I don't really want that one, because if they get too old and they get rained on, then they get bugs in them and things that you don't necessarily want to think about in your food. So you're kind of looking for the brighter reds, like what are up there, and we're going to go ahead and pick some, and then I will meet you guys inside. We are back inside, and we have our freshly harvested sumac. We have some ice cold water, some coffee filters, and some other filter bags. I'll go over all of this. I just want to say that this is how I do it. I'm not saying you have to do it this way, or even that this is necessarily the right way, but this is just what's worked for us. As with anything, if you're introducing something new into your diet or your routine, it's always a good idea to talk to your trusted healthcare professional, whoever that might be. Sumac is supposed to be really good for you. It has a lot of antioxidants that are supposed to be good for your immune system. It's supposed to help stabilize blood sugars and lower cholesterol and a whole bunch of other stuff. You can do your own research on that, and again, talk to your own healthcare professional. Some of these, the coloration's a little darker than what I would have liked. I like them more of a bright red, but unfortunately we've had a bunch of rain this year, which has caused harvesting problems all across the board. So this is what we had to work with for today. If you want to rinse this, you can. I opt not to because of the way I process it. I'm not as worried about everything. So again, this is how I do it. I start with ice cold water. This is just the method that I found that works and makes it taste well. And then I take just regular old coffee filter, and I'm going to break off some of these just to try to get the least amount of stem in here as possible. Some people use forks as well to kind of take the berries off. It's really whatever your preference is. When you are processing sumac, one thing you want to make sure is that it is one of the edible types of sumac. There is poison sumac. It looks very, very different. It has white berries that kind of hang down. But again, if you're just starting out, make sure you do your research and consult the local foragers and stuff in your area on what kind of sumac you have. There's Bruce. He just wants to be involved. Okay. And once you have about, a filter full of them, I wrap this in another filter, And the reason I do this is because I don't pre-wash my berries, because the more times you wash them, the more flavor you're going to lose from them and the more nutrients. So I want to pick as clean berries as I can get, as fresh as I can get, and then I put them in a filter, and then I put them in these, I believe you call these tea bags. You can get them on Amazon or pretty much any place that does canning, and then I double bag this as well. And then what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to soak it in the water. Clean hands are also a must, obviously. That should go without saying, but I probably should say that. And then I'm just going to soak it. Usually I'll soak it overnight and that'll be fine. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer depending on, again, how old the berries were. This, I'm going to guess, will probably take a little bit longer than normal. But also some of it is how strong of a flavor do you want for your sumac aid. So I'm going to let this set and we'll get back to you once it's done. Well, thanks to technology, here we are at the end of it. This has actually been steeping a little bit longer than we originally anticipated because, well, life happened and things got a little bit busy. So once it reaches this pink color here, this is kind of how I know how strong I like it. When you first start doing this, experiment a little bit. I find it's better to make it a little bit stronger than I like, because then you can always water it down afterwards. You can also preserve this in the freezer. A great way to do that is ice trays. Just freeze ice cubes, and then throughout the winter throw in a couple of the ice cubes with some water or even your tea, and you'll still be able to get those healthy antioxidants all winter long. So from this point, start with clean hands. I washed my hands, and I'll just squeeze out all the goodness here. You can filter this again if you really want to, but with doing the double coffee filters and then the double filter bags, I didn't really see the need to do that. This is really clean. There's no floaties or anything in it. And then from here, you just simply pour yourself a glass. And enjoy. If it's not as sweet as you'd like it, you can sweeten it with honey or stevia or whatever sweeteners that you prefer to use. I personally don't really need it to be sweetened. I think it tastes pretty good the way it is. To me, it resembles kind of the taste of raspberry iced tea, and I find it really enjoyable. So hopefully you found this helpful, and thank you for checking this out. Michael likes it better with a little bit of honey or sweetener in it.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Well, hopefully you found this helpful. Again, it's using different things like foraging or that you can grow or that's already growing on your property to substitute something else that might be store-bought. This is obviously a lot cheaper for us than buying those pre-mixed, plus it's a lot healthier, definitely a lot less sugar, and it has a lot of good benefits for you.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't have expected it to taste like that. I'm very surprised.
So, thanks for watching, and if you found this helpful, please make sure you hit that like button, and we really appreciate it if you subscribe and support our channel.
And we'll see you on the next one.
Now you get to drink this.